So they can't really control what's happening?
No, we just do the right thing at the end of the day.
It's pretty ambiguous where you could make a case for just about anything.
We've been crafty enough to get ahead of it.
Critical race theory.
Critical race theory.
Critical race theory.
Governor Greg Abbott signed a bill into law that bans critical race theory from Texas schools.
We kind of tap dance around calling it anything, because that's, if I were to say Capel is teaching the NGSS science standards, the National Next Generation Science Standards.
Okay.
If I were to publish that on our website, that's when we would get a call from TEA.
Really?
Yeah. But are we still teaching NGSS-ish? Absolutely.
So they can't really control what's happening?
No, we just do the right thing at the end of the day.
I'm Adam Gillette with Accuracy in Media. One thing we've learned in Texas and other states is that laws related to public education are generally broad and allow for a lot of leeway. Some educators, of course, take advantage of that.
The way the social studies texts are written, you can look them up. They're online. It's pretty ambiguous where you could make a case for just about anything.
I mean, as long as they're following, our TEKS, they're teaching the standards, then they're not going to get much flack from the building administrator.
And can't you really just point to anything in the TEKS and say, any...
It's true, it's open for interpretation, I guess, yeah.
Like for critical race theory, for example, that has been decided that we're not allowed to teach
Yes.
that. And so it can't be a requirement. However, I think that there are options. Our district is really big on inclusivity and diversity and equity.
The biggest thing is that we can't require diversity training or mandate it.
Okay.
So, which is different from previous years. There are ways to get around that.
Brian Lyons is an equity officer in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Equity officers are increasingly common positions in schools throughout the country. Mr. Lyons explained to us that by manipulating the language, he's able to push his agenda.
The language explicitly says, it doesn't say anything about diversity or inclusion, but it says creating a safe and belonging environment. You start looking at inclusion and equity, it's rooted in that.
Right,
so
right.
We can embed that into that. So we're going to do it. It's just going to be under another requirement that the district has us do, and it's just going to have those same elements of that. And if someone really wants to go find and search it, then let them do the research and let them figure it out. But there are ways in which we've been crafty enough to get ahead of it.
Social and emotional learning isn't critical race theory. However, it's often used as a Trojan horse to push the principles associated with critical race theory, and parents caught on to it. Unfortunately, administrators stay one step ahead of them by changing the language again.
Is social emotional learning something that y'all do in Keller?
It's kind of embedded, but it was one of those things that as soon as we had some things called social emotional, but when CRT came out with all the new laws, they had to change wording. So now it's kind of all embedded, and it's not like a department all over it. I'm not going to put something out there that says we're doing social emotional learning, but I'm like, nope, we're talking about perfectionism. We talk about the specific things, not the big label.
I'm sure there are some districts that are teaching social and emotional learning and not including the principles of critical race theory. But when it's commonly used that way, you can't blame the parents for being skeptical. Another thing that they should be skeptical of is Newsella. The 1619 Project, the warped history of the United States, published by the New York Times, has been banned from being used in Texas schools. Newsella is just another way that these administrators get around state laws.
Newsella, I feel like, has the dimensions, and then there's the nuance.
I will say we probably don't say 1619. I'm just going to be upfront. I've listened to it. I think a lot of teachers have. But are we directly teaching that? We really aren't.
Oh, okay. So
that we're not, right? But are some of the concepts in there and the way we're teaching it, are they in there? I would say yes.
Okay.
But we just can't say 1619 Project.
So it's really just we can't use the terminology.
That would
we
be
want to be off the radar.
For 1619 Project, I know a lot of especially in Texas, a lot of districts say that they don't want to teach it. Is that, are you allowed to? Like, can we? Deal? I don't know, like, I don't.
It depends on the district. Like, some districts are going to be able to bring in the resources that are not opinion and use it.
It is a tragedy that we have reached the point where public education is such a mess that we cannot trust administrators and cannot trust educators. And it really makes you feel bad for the well-intentioned educators. The solution is not to have politicians passing more laws micromanaging teachers. The solution is school choice. We should not have a one-size-fits-all approach for public education. Maybe you want your child to learn about the 1619 Project. Maybe you don't. School choice is a way to make that happen. If you'd like to demand school choice for your community, click on the link below this video to send one message that goes to your elected officials. You can also click on the second link and donate to our organization. We are a tax-deductible nonprofit charity, and your donations make these investigations possible. Again, I'm Adam Gillette with Accuracy in Media.